5-0. The matter of Joseph Berwanger and Samantha Roach, both are here. Ms. Roach via Zoom. Mr. Berwanger's in court. And this was a date and time set to review the parenting time. There was an order entered at the last hearing granting Ms. Roach physical custody of the child. And Mr. Berwanger, I think, was incarcerated at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. But the matter was set for review on the parenting time issue. The two of you had a chance to come up to any kind of agreement on parenting time?
We haven't talked, Your Honor.
Huh?
We haven't talked, Your Honor.
All right, both raise your right hands then. Do you both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, this was initially your motion that brought this to be court's attention. What are you requesting as far as the entry of an order at this time?
Like Joseph pointed out, we haven't really talked. I'm not quite sure. What I do know is there's just multiple reasons why I am worried either for her well-being or her safety. And something I guess someone I had spoken to said I should make it very clear that this motion, as far as Delia being in my custody for the time being, is not something I want to have be a permanent thing. But it's to the point now, things that are, I very much worry for my daughter's safety in Joseph's care at this point in time, given the things that he's been involved in over the last year. And it's not just me at this point that's saying these things. I mean, his own daughter, he has told me that she has asked him to come back to my house because, quote unquote, she doesn't want to be around her drug addicted dad. I have letters here from members of his family. People have gone and gotten notarized letters talking about how, you know, like her aunt has multiple times had to pick her up from school because he didn't show up because he's at home sleeping or just off doing whatever. And she's brought her, it got to the point she stopped taking her out to Joseph. She'd just bring her to me because Lord knows where he is. I mean, the school has records about how much school she missed last year while she was in his custody. And then there's the things that Joseph himself has told me about the things that have happened in his home that terrify me for my daughter. They truly do. Like, this isn't a matter of me trying to be a bitter baby mama. This is me worrying about the safety, health, and well-being of my child. And I know Joseph it can say, Delia's asked, she, you know, called me and asked me to come get her. He didn't come pick her back up for 3 days. No call, no nothing, just didn't show up. Then she proceeded to ask me to sit him down and tell him with her that she did not want to stay with him. And when she did that, he was given the opportunity to have her on the weekends. He was told flat out, she wants to stay with me. You are more than welcome to come over here any day and have dinner with her or take her for a weekend, whatever. We didn't even bother changing our agreement because it wasn't supposed to be a permanent thing. It was supposed to just be a verbal agreement of she stays with me and you get visitation whenever you want. And he would go months. My daughter didn't see her dad for months at one point, and my door was open. He chose not to come and see her. And then all of a sudden, one day he just flips a switch and he wants to go back to 50-50. And then within a few months, he's gotten arrested for the exact kind of thing that made her not want to be there and made me scared for her safety. So I'm not really sure what the solution is. That's why I'm here talking to a referee. Again, I don't want to permanently have this be, I have her and you're out of the picture. But at the same time, I do not think that she is safe or going to be taken care of the way she should be. And that's not coming from one instance. That's coming from almost 2 years worth now of situations and circumstances that have happened over and over again. Like, nothing is changing. In fact, it has gotten worse. I don't know. I've known Joe most of my life. I don't like seeing him like this. I don't like doing this. I don't like feeling like this person, but I worry about Delia too much to sit down anymore and just pretend like I can go off of somebody's word that she's fine and taken care of.
All right, sir, what's your side of this?
First of all, let me just start off by saying there has been a time in my life where I fell into some trouble, yes, and I made poor decisions, and out of those poor decisions, one of my better decisions was to let Samantha take care of my daughter. a lot of what she is stating here is well over 2 years ago. I would just like to point out the record, this whole sleeping thing. Okay. 3-4 weeks ago, my girlfriend took Delia and tried to get a hold of Sam, and both her brother confirmed, said, Samantha's on the couch sleeping. We can't get her up. So you can keep her for the night. Just put that out there. We all make bad choices. I'm on the track to get my life together. I've taken care of my legal issue, or most of my legal issues. I've got my license reinstated. I've gotten a car. I'm working on getting a job again. Like I said, we make mistakes. For the better of my daughter, I let Samantha take care of her. This instance where she's speaking of, where last instance where I didn't go seeing my daughter on the weekends, my car was stolen. I live in the country. It's just part of that downfall of my life there. But since then, I went to jail, obviously. As much as it sucked, it helped me. It helped me get off drugs. I'm happy it happened. At the same time, I'm not happy it happened. But it was what I needed in the time of my life to get me on this course to do better. Now, I understand Sam's had Delia for the last four months now almost. So to help with her routine, I asked that I just, for the time being until summer starts, that just give me Wednesdays and every Wednesday, every other weekend. Then when school ends, we can go back to the 50-50 and we can review all this and we can go on forth there. And that's what I asked for the time being. I know that just to swap back to the 50-50 would be a huge jump. That's what I would prefer, but I would settle for every Wednesday and every other weekend.
So, yes, ma'am, are you in agreement with that at this time, that you have every other weekend and Wednesday parenting time?
I guess, do I have a choice in the matter at this point? I'm going to have to move forward from here. I failed to see.
There's always a choice. If you think that that's appropriate, then you can say so. If you think it's inappropriate, you can tell me why you wouldn't even be comfortable with that.
I don't even know how to word what I'm thinking here. Given the things that Joseph has told me himself about what he's been involved in, he was telling me about how he had to put bullets in his floor to warn people off. And after what he's been arrested for, that's literally what came out of his mouth. And for all I know, he was talking out of it because he likes to do that sometimes. But
Can I speak?
No, not yet. Wait till she goes back.
Okay.
hello?
Back.
Hello. I do apologize. I have no idea what happened. The computer I'm using just locked. I came back as fast as I could. I'm sorry.
All right. That's all right. What were you saying now? Well, I've given her a chance to sort this out. Sir, do you live with anybody right now?
Yes, my girlfriend and her kids.
Certainly.
Erica Cardell.
How old are her kids?
4, 7, and 9.
Where do you live?
2, 8. I still dated it with a friend of the court.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And you had some criminal things going on in
Yes.
the last hearing. What was the resolution of all that?
They're still ongoing, sir.
All right, so you bonded out?
Yes, actually, they PR bonded me out, Your Honor.
So you're still facing the possession and
They're
arson charges?
yes, they're still on the table, but I'm not sure what's going on with those. With all that, I would just like to point out that again, they're all allegations at the time being. Ain't nothing set in stone yet. With that, when they raided my house and they searched me, and none of the instances did they find drugs, they did not find drugs in my house and they did not find drugs on me. So I'd just like to point that out. I won't sit here and deny that I didn't do drugs. I don't do drugs now.
Erica?
No, sir.
Are you being monitored at all during
Yes.
your release?
Yes, sir. Every day I have to call in. I take a random drug test. Taken 2 so far. 1 being yesterday at court, or sorry, Monday at court.
What's the condition of bond? Is the drug test daily?
No, it's a random drug test. I just call in and they tell me when to come in. I've done 2 so far, but yes, it's called day reporting or whatever. So I have to call in every day and check in.
Okay. And so what's she talking about with shooting holes in your forehead or something like that?
It was just me talking on my ass, man. So yeah, so like I said, when there was a time in my life where I wasn't the right of mind. I was using drugs and shit was just crazy, and you know, I had the wrong people in my life. I'm not gonna lie, I did. That's why my car got stolen. That's you know, I mean, that's half of my downfall. Was my car got stolen. It was my life, man. Had all my tools and everything in it, and just it spiraled out of control. Then yes, Delia did ask to stay at her mom's, and me and her mom sat down and had a discussion about it, and I agreed to it because I knew it was the best thing at the time.
When was that?
That was in January, October, November, December, January, December. That was in December of not this December, the December before that.
So so you've had this order for 50/50 or week on, week off since 2017, but you hadn't been exercising that for a year?
No, not for a year, sir. So December, January. I had her in December, Christmas. After she came back from Christmas, she came back with me. Then she told me that she wanted to stay with her mom. So from January until school started, which was August.
Sure.
So from January until August, her mom had temporary full custody of her.
Any time during those months?
No, I see my daughter during those months.
Oh, when did you see?
You know, when I could. I'd borrow a car here, borrow a car there.
So you didn't have a set schedule?
No, it wasn't a set schedule, sir. She was really lenient with me on that.
And all the stuff she's talking about predated all that?
Yes, sir. And a lot of it is just hearsay allegations. I mean, a lot of it is just bull.
All right. So then
my daughter's never starved. My daughter never had to fend for herself.
So then what was your schedule starting in August of 2020?
Back to 50/50.
So for most of the school
yes,
and you went to jail?
Up until yes, up until I went to jail, sir. She had not missed a day of school.
That was February? No, that was
when I got arrested?
Yeah.
December 5th.
Okay. I apologize. I think we have this issue figured out. I'm using a dinosaur of a laptop.
All right. So I asked Mr. Berwanger, I gave you a chance. I gave you a few minutes to get back and you didn't.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I did ask him some questions. He lives with his girlfriend and her kids in Big Rapids. He's out on PR bond. The charges still aren't resolved fully. He drug tests at the request of probably a court agent of some sort who monitors his pretrial release. No drugs were found in the house when his house was raided. The child asked to stay with you, and he allowed that from January to August, but then you guys were doing 50/50 again from August till December, it sounds like. And now here we are now. Have you had any time since you got out of jail?
No, sir.
What date you got out of jail?
March 1st.
You requested any?
I had my girlfriend ask, yes. No.
So I guess, ma'am, I don't know if I fully heard what your response was to Mr. Berwanger's request for alternating weekend parenting time through the end of the school year. We can hold a review then.
I guess my only concern is her safety. I didn't realize this person that was contacting me was his girlfriend. Number one, Joseph could have contacted me. I've lived in the same place for 20 years. He could have easily showed up and asked me to see his daughter. I have nothing but all I'm worried about is her safety and her well-being. That's it. I've never tried to actually keep her from him. I just want her to be safe and taken care of. So I guess that is more than fine with me because I'm sure she'd love to see her father. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, just, I guess, yeah, as long as she's going to be safe and fed, then
So
I don't have any problems with that. I would like to just say, I guess that doesn't necessarily have to be your to Joseph. if we could maybe start the every other weekend part next weekend, just because she is having my parents, my mother is coming up from Detroit to see her for her birthday, and she's very excited about that. Shoot, it's not Wednesday today, but if you'd like to come get her today for a little while, that's more than fine with me. Like I said, I've never tried to keep her from you, Joseph. She has asked to stay with me, and you have left her with me because she asked. It's not me trying to take your daughter from you. She's been right here this whole time.
All right. So it sounds like the parties are in agreement, alternating weekends, what, Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6?
Okay.
Wednesdays from 5 to 8, although she said you could do that tonight. Or...
Can we do Wednesdays from after school until the next predating school? So that way she just get on the bus and, you know what I mean? The school can be the transfer part. She'd get off out of school, ride the bus home to me, then she'd get on the bus and we could just do pickup from school.
Let's just do the weekends for now, with some time on the Wednesday. She said you could do Thursday this week instead of Wednesday. So 5 to 8 on Wednesdays, except today would be Thursday from 5 to 8, and the weekends would start next weekend. That's aligned with our reasonable parenting time policy schedule for the weekends anyway. And then we'll review this on June 2nd at 9 a.m. See how things are going, see what you want to do for the summer and thereafter. Right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
June, I apologize. You said June 2nd at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I'll do an order. It'll have the date and time in it.
Okay.
If you've got documents, you said you had some documents there you wanted me to see. That's kind of hard to do over Zoom.
I know. I was thinking that myself when I got it.
If you want to send them in beforehand, they'll be put in an envelope, and then you can propose to enter them at the hearing.
Okay.
But I mean, really, a lot of times that type of document is hearsay anyway. You would actually need the person here to testify if you wanted their testimony on the record, because Mr. Berwanger can't cross-examine a document. As far as I know, they're not sworn under oath when they execute that document. So,
well, it isn't notarized.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. That just means that person saw them sign it. It doesn't mean that they were under oath. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. But for the meantime, we'll do this, and I'll see you guys back here on June 2nd at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're all set. And this is the matter of Karen Howe and Jacob Howe. Both are here. Ms. Howe on Zoom and Mr. Howe in court here. And this is the date and time that was set for addressing a bench warrant that was entered in this matter. Ms. Heaven is here from the court. And I guess it's a bench warrant. So folks, I'm the referee of the court assigned to handle these matters. At the conclusion of this hearing, I'll make a recommendation that will become a court order. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you wish you to hire one, or I can appoint one for you, or you can proceed without and represent yourself. Do you know what you'd like to do?
I probably want an appointed attorney.
Okay, you'll have to come back. I don't have one on hand right away.
He's got notes from the doctors and stuff that says why he hasn't been working. And
yeah, and that's fine. He is facing a jail sentence though, so he has the right to have a lawyer. So we got to get past that part first. If he wants a lawyer, that's fine. I can appoint one. You'll be notified as soon as she's available and can reappear.
what would be your suggestion on that? You can't say that. So
Anytime someone's facing a jail sentence, constitutional due process says you have the right to have an attorney. So, whether it's likely it'll be imposed or not, I don't know. I haven't heard the evidence yet. But as first and foremost, I have to notify a person who's facing it. They have the right to have it.
No, I'm having a hard time sleeping and stuff since I did the episode. I've been sick really bad.
Like I said,
my doctors ain't cooperating with me. Right. You know what I mean?
Like I said, we gotta get past this attorney part first. If you want to have a lawyer, I can appoint one for you. If you want to proceed without a lawyer, that's okay too, and we can proceed right now. But I need to know that before we get into what's going on.
Oh, I know what's going on. I haven't been paying child support, but I did get sick and I did something wrong, and I've been sick from it. my head's really bad and stuff, and trying to get it taken care of. I've been going to doctors and stuff, and
It sounds like you want to proceed without a lawyer since you're.
I'm just saying I'm sick, and I don't know how to tell people about it, you know. I tried to tell Karen about it, and I've been trying to tell them about it. I can't sleep at night. I've been like, I'm going to go to jail, and I'm probably going to stay up unless
Not. May or may not. I mean, yeah, you have a warrant, but that's what this hearing is for, is to determine if you should go to jail or if there should be some other result. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. But first I need to know, I either need you to say, I want a lawyer, and we'll adjourn this and get you a lawyer, or waive my right to a lawyer, and then we can
Proceed.
proceed.
I don't know if I want a lawyer. The last couple times I didn't take a lawyer.
Good.
But I know I'm really sick. I've been trying to tell people.
You want to talk to your parents about it for a minute, see if you want to have a lawyer or not, or if you want to proceed without. Let's go in the hallway real quick, talk about it for a second and see if he wants to have a lawyer or if he wants to proceed without. All right.
I think I'm gonna deal with it.
You got what?
Deal without a lawyer.
Okay, all right. So Ms. Evans here from front of the court. Ms. Evans, do you have an update on that?
I do. Mr. Howe has a monthly support obligation of $200 child support. Currently owes the plaintiff $3,234.98. Fees $247. Total owing $3,481.98. We were receiving $58.28 on an income withholding order. Last we received that was October 28th, 2022. There are no prior contempts. This is a failed to comply issued February 9th, 2023. It's 45 days or a $2,400 cash bond. And the show cause hearing was held on June 7th, 2022.
All right, and sir, do you agree that you owe the amount stated by friend of the court?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
I've been sick for
All
a
right,
while.
so yeah, why don't you tell me what's going on then? What's keeping you from making payments?
About a couple months ago, I overdosed on some pills, or I went to the hospital. I took some pills, I did it twice actually. I did it once in October, what she said, October.
Okay.
And then I did it again in December. The October one wasn't that bad, but I did it again and it made it worse. I'm having problems with my bowel movements, and I'm having problems with my head now.
All right, were you working?
And my kidneys and my liver.
Were you working up until October then?
Yes, I was working at you guys were getting child support up to whatever.
Where were you working at then?
I was working through this company. It was called Workforce, and I was working at it was 2H or something. It was a company called 2H. After I got out of the mental hospital, I started working at it was called 2H. It was a place where they made Cheetos and Cool Ranch Doritos.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a snack place.
So then, so you're not able to work there anymore at this time?
No, they ended my assignment.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time keeping jobs lately because of my mental health, and that's what this letter's about.
All right. Are you seeing somebody like?
I'm seeing a psychologist. That's what this letter is about.
Who are you seeing?
His name's Dr. Dillon.
Billy?
Yes.
And are you making progress toward dealing with whatever's going on?
Yeah, I talk to him every month. And I've been taking my pills that it prescribed. And my parents lock my pills up now because I did really dump stuff down my throat.
Okay. And
I'm really sick from that still. And I don't know how to, like, I'm trying to come back from it, but it's not, my body's not coming back from it right away. I don't know how to explain it.
okay. And then are you looking into alternate forms of income, like disability or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
SSI. I've been trying to get SSI. I talked to my caseworker. Disability. My caseworker called me the other day, and she said something about having me talk to one of their psychologists. But it's a process, you know what I mean? It's a long process. But she called me the other day that she wants me to see one of her doctors. And then she said something about some more paperwork, but I haven't seen any more paperwork in the mail yet.
All right.
But I am in the process of doing all that stuff.
So you're looking into it. Okay.
Yeah, but when you're doing that, you can't work or either.
I mean,
you
that's
know
why
what
you
I
apply
mean?
is because you don't have the ability to work at that.
Yes, I'm not working right now. And I was working when I applied,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah.
All right, Ms. Howitt, did you have anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right. At this point, I'll discharge the warrant. I'll suspend enforcement on the obligation for 180 days. Keep Ms. Heaven apprised of the status of what's going on every 30 days, okay? So that she knows you're still looking into the disability and your mental health treatment and stuff like that. And then if 180 days go by and you're still not able to make payments, then she can file some kind of motion to have it be for a longer term than that, okay? And then
Did you want to see this stuff? Or?
no, that's all right. I'll take your word for it. All right. So basically what you need to do is keep working on yourself, on your mental health and your disability. But let Ms. Heaven know what's going on every 30 days. And then you wouldn't have to worry about making payments or going to jail or anything like that for the next 6 months, as long as you're working toward getting things figured out, all right? It's gonna be longer than that, then you gotta file a motion.
Well, I've been working on it. It's just a hard process, you know, after doing all the stuff what I did, you know.
That's my card,
Can I
okay?
have one of your cards too, man?
So just give you a call if I couldn't find a job or
Every 30
something.
days, you need to let me know what's happening with your social security or if you have a job.
You can send her an email, you can send her a note, you can stop in, you can call, you can do whatever you want. Just so she knows you haven't forgotten about it, all right?
2600, Jeanette
Okay.
Alvarez,
All right, you're all set.
and Anthony Miniker, both are here via Zoom. Ms. Evans here as well from the front of the court. And Ms. Alvarez has filed a motion regarding support. Both parties raise your right hands. Do you both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, ma'am, why don't you explain to me what led you to file the motion? What are you requesting and why?
Okay. I'm requesting early release so I can return to work. I was incarcerated from April 25th until June 6th for 45 days pertaining to this child support case last year, and also have been incarcerated for 63 days now. That's a total of 108 days and 11 months for the case. So I'm requesting return to work.
Where do you work?
Centria, and I'm also looking into going back to a local nursing home.
Centuria? What What's that?
It's a home for autism out of Grand Rapids. But I'm also looking into going back to a local nursing home.
Ms. Evan, what's the bond set at?
2,500,
90 days, 2,500?
correct.
And is Ms. Alvarez correct in her math? She served 63 days on the current sentence?
I do know that her out date is April 12th of 2023. She was booked in January 17th.
And I also served 45 days back in April of 22. So that's 108 days and 11 months.
We have that she's been employed by Centria Healthcare since January 20th of 2021. However, we've never received payment.
Yeah, did you send an income withholding to them, Ms. Evan?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Alvarez, why don't they send in the payments?
Haven't gone into the homes recently.
I know you haven't recently.
That's why I'm also looking into going back to a local nursing home. So if you guys would like to, if we could do like a promise to pay with my release, and I can let you know who I'm looking into being employed by.
So I assume you don't have the 2,500 or you would have bonded yourself out. How much do you have that you could post toward that bond?
Nothing until I'm released. I can promise to pay once I'm released within 24 hours, but I cannot pay anything until I'm released. I have begged multiple people to come up here and post it for me so I can pay them within 24 hours and nobody has shown.
Well, I mean, that's the root of the problem is that you made promises in the past to pay and you haven't paid anything in 2 years.
I understand that.
Ms. Evan, can you look and see how much Ms. Alvarez worked last year?
How much she did what?
How much she made on your wage reporting website?
There is no income reported for 2022. In 2021, there was $253.48 reported in quarterly wage reporting in 2021.
For the whole year?
Yeah, yep.
So, ma'am,
Second quarter and third
how are you being paid in these jobs you have, ma'am? You didn't make any money last year, according to the IRS, and you only made $250 the year before, according to the IRS. You say you've been working. How are they paying you?
I haven't gone into the homes.
So you haven't worked.
Like I said, I'm looking into returning to a local nursing home also, not just working for some.
So you essentially haven't worked for at least 2 years.
Not a ton.
Well, I mean, you made $250 1 year.
I've had some health issues.
Why didn't you ever file a motion to stop support or lower support or do something with your support if you weren't working because of a verifiable health issue?
Procrastination, I suppose.
Are you seeing a doctor for these health issues?
I am. I saw my specialist a few days before my arrest.
What are the health issues?
I have narcolepsy. So I apologize. I'm still waking up and being able to have a conversation with you right now.
How long have you known you had narcolepsy?
It was diagnosed 5 or 6 years ago, but it's been a problem since my 20s. I also may be epileptic. I'm supposed to go for another study when I'm released.
So you've done 8 weeks and 2 days, so 56, 58 days?
I counted Yeah, somewhere around there. I thought my incarceration date was the 13th. I thought I was booked the 13th.
I'm
And
sorry,
I
you're
was-
right. January 13th.
All right.
So it's 63 days. I also was curious, is it 90 days within 12 months, or can you guys do more than that in a year? Because I've done 108 in 11 months now.
Yeah, there's no, you can be sentenced to 90 days for violations of orders or contempt of court. And
More than
really, it says up to 90 days for a second offense or subsequent. It doesn't say really, the law doesn't really specify how many of those can be imposed in a year. There's not a rule. I don't particularly, I don't particularly enjoy sending people to jail, period, or recommending jail, period. But the bottom line is being incarcerated for periods of time exceeding 90 days in a year is a barrier to being able to be employed. Now, you haven't worked in 2 years, so I don't know that that's really relevant here. But I guess if you're looking to start working now, or you've got your health concerns under control enough to be able to think about looking to going back to work.
I mean, I'm over certified to be able to
do that, but I don't want you to walk out of here thinking, okay, I did 63 days this year. I can only do another 27 this year because the bottom line is if you fail to comply with the orders, you could find yourself having to face another show cause and facing additional jail time. And it's not really capped at 90 days a year. It's only per sentence. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a phlebotomist. I worked healthcare for 15 years. I want to control my health issues and go back to work. That's my goal. So I would really like to have release and be able to return to work on a promise to pay. If I can make an amount set with you guys on a certain date, if you guys give me an amount.
What's the ordered amount, Ms. Hutton?
$285 a month.
All right, so that's what would be expected. Does that include an arrears payment?
I can do that.
Does not.
All right.
She's $16,336.84 in arrears.
Yeah, so you probably look at another 100 a month at least to go toward the arrears that you'd be expected to pay. Mr. Miniker, what are your thoughts on the request?
I guess I don't really have much to say. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I've never seen her work healthcare for 15 years, so I think that's a bullshit lie. She does have, what is it? Borderline personality disorder. She does have that. She's had that for several years. I'm be honest. She's never gonna pay. She never has. She barely ever pays unless her grandma pays or her mom pays or somebody else pays for her. It's just never gonna happen. So I've given up on even caring or giving a shit on what she's gonna do because it's never ending. It's never gonna stop. So it's just gonna keep going and keep going. She's gonna keep pleading all these cases. She's gonna keep doing this, doing that. I'm over it. Honestly, I'm over it at this point. That's all I gotta say.
I can promise to pay $300 within 20 days at the minimum.
How about every month?
Sooner than that. It might be a week at the most that I can pay the $300.
How about every month?
A week at the most that I can pay the $300 once I'm released.
All right. At this time, it appears that Ms. Alvarez has served about 2/3 of the sentence. She makes a point. It's not, like I said, it's not really codified in the law anywhere that you can't serve more than 90 days in a calendar year. However, I would recognize that it does become a barrier to being productive or being employed. And she's served a little over 100 days in the last 12 months. And 63 this time out of a 90-day sentence. I'll go ahead and allow early release. $300 needs to be paid by the end of March. You need to make your monthly payments each and every month hereafter to avoid further enforcement proceedings. Do you understand?
All right, thank you.
All right, we're all set for today.
Door handle doesn't work.